Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are with the Sound Lady, and we're talking about a new sound therapy tool. If you've ever felt intrigued or called to work with sound healing, this is a class for you. You can assist people finding more information about their voice and actually helping them heal not only systems and organs and tendons and things in the body, but also the chakras. Let's welcome Kathleen Nagy back to this beautiful space. Hello, Kathleen.
Hello, Lauren. Great to be with you today. This is going to be an exciting class. I think we've got something here that's pretty unique. In that if anyone ever really wanted to start their own, I see a lot of times, people are advertising, well, I do a little bit of sound healing. I dabbled in sound healing. This gives you some real software that you're going to be able to work with. We're going to be able to do before and after voice prints and see the results of what you're trying to do. We're going to teach you how to use a pitch pipe to balance the frequencies in your graph from your voice print. So there's going to be all kinds of ways that you can use this to help people balance their systems and their organs, like you were saying, but also the whole chakra system, because part of the class is learning what your personal chakra scale is. And your personal chakra scale is your body's like emotional cellular distribution system. Well, really, the chakras, take your emotions, pull them into your glands, and that tells the brain to make these hormones or just not make these hormones. So there's ways to balance, hormones and mood and your emotional body, along with your physical body issues, and with a very simple tool called a pitch pipe.
It's amazing. There's new technology out that actually assists this. And you did mention software. And for the price of this software, we're going to talk about it. You're teaching people how to use it with all of these other tools that you use with the voice and, finding our weak notes. So how does a musical note correlate to our chakras or our bodily systems?
Well, in Sharry Edwards' system, and this is Sharry Edwards software that we're going to be, I'm trying to get her to maybe co-teach part of the classes with me, but she hasn't answered that question yet because it's a month off and she just doesn't know, but she may be co-teaching. She might co-teach some of the classes. So her software is this invoice software that allows you to have a kind of like a snapshot of your voice's energy. And what we know from working with Sharry Edwards for all of these years is our voice is giving biofeedback information to the brain about the health of the body. The sound of our voice contains all the information about the health of the body that the brain can use. So the vagus nerve comes all the way up the body. It gets all this information. It intertwines with the vocal cords and it goes right straight up to the brain. And all that frequency information from the sound of your voice goes to the brain and tells the brain, oh, we got to do this, 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 and this, right? And then the brain does a little triage and it says, okay, these are the things that have to be done, but I only got so much sleep and I only got so much nutrition and I've been under so much stress. And so, this get put on the back burner. And we're going to see those back burner issues in your voice print when we look and see what notes, because every note, Sharry has figured out the universal system for every human being, what note applies to what organ system, and part of the body. We're going to take that information and combine it with my original understandings about your body's personal scale, your body's personal emotional scale for the chakra system. And we're going to work with both Sharry's universal system of what each note means physically and emotionally. And then we're going to work with my system for what those notes mean according to your body's musical scale. So we're going to kind of combine those two concepts and then show you a simple way to balance it out, either with the sound of your voice, because if your brain is listening to the sound of your voice all day long, whether you know it or not, let's take that unconscious system and consciously use it. The unconscious system of the voice ear brain connection, and use it consciously and do specific things with the voice on specific notes. The brain goes, oh, this is fabulous. I didn't have the biochemistry to make that repair. Brain's a frequency modulator. It doesn't need biochemistry. It needs the frequency, the essence of the biochemistry. So when you give it the essence of the biochemistry, the brain says, oh, I didn't have the biochemistry to fix that, but now I've got the frequency, so I can make the repair with the frequency. And that's how it works.
Yes, the frequency, and it illustrates the power of our voice. We've known and we've heard that the human voice is the most powerful healing tool. It's right here. And so, you're going to prove here on this level, working with this technology, how it works and how sometimes why we're called to hum certain things or tone certain notes. This is all just validating all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can see it in black and white, before and after, and you can know that what you did worked or didn't work. And then you go back and try something else, but at least it's not like someone says, okay, hum this note and you're good. Well, okay, if I can believe you and trust you, but what if it doesn't work? And how do I know if it's working? And we'll take another voice print and we'll see.
All right, so what we're going to do here is play a little bit, because Kathleen is a beautiful teacher. What she's doing is, not only is she taking her system with the chakras and humming your chakras, she's taking it with this voice analysis software, and she's making a tribe of sound healers. So this is really very, very interesting. We're going to show everyone what it is that she's talking about, and then we're going to talk about how you can work with her outside of what her class is. She'll be showing you where to go to get the software. You can just go get that on your own in a pitch pipe and all of that. But the best way to do this is with a demonstration. So Kathleen, tell us about what you're going to do today.
Well, we're going to record your voice, Ren. We're going to record your voice and we're going to watch. I'm going to bring up the software, and as you speak, we're going to see how the software picks the notes out of. Let's see. I'm going to share my. Should I share my screen right now? We're going to get to this.
Beautiful.
Okay. Share my screen. Okay, so
All
this
right.
is just an example of the note bar graph that we're going to get when we record your voice. It's going to count how many times you used each note of the scale as you spoke. There's melody to everyone's speech patterns. And the note C, C sharp, D, all the notes of the scale are down here on the bottom. And up on the top, it tells you how many times you used each note. And so we can see strong notes and we can see weak notes. And that's what we're going to do. See the weak notes, look at the chart, see what the weak notes correlate to, hum the weak note, take another voice print, see if that note is any stronger. So what we're going to do is do File New, and we're going to put in Loren's name. And we're just going to say Test. And Loren, would you be willing to give us your date of birth? You don't have to give us the year, but you could give us the month and the day.
Aren't you precious? November 5th. Yes, November 5.
11:05. And I'm just going to say 1965. 75, 19, I like that, 1975. Okay, wait.
Oh, that's one. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
There we go. All right. So I have a microphone here that's, I'm going to record the speaker output of the computer here because that's where your voice is going to be coming in from. So the question is, what do you talk about? I would like you to talk about first kind of a baseline on who you are. Talk about the things that you just really love to do, the places you love to be, the people you love to be with, and the situations that make you feel, like in your power, really, full of yourself. And as you do that, we will watch the screen fill up with your speaking pattern, your note speaking pattern. So, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can start talking.
Well, for one thing, I find it fascinating that here we're talking about what we love to do, what we just feel strong in our power with. And let's start with what I love to do. One of my most favorite places to be is on my bicycle. And then another place to be is on a sailboat. And I also love a little bit of technology and playing and recording things. And so now, as I look at this chart, my mind starts to take over. And I'm like, whoa, now I'm going to think about like actors and those who can say, oh my goodness, the sing-songy of everything, right? Should we be sing-songy or should we be like news oriented and just talk in a low, melancholy, relaxed voice? Or if I close my eyes and I think about just pure compassion, I'm not even going to watch the screen.
Well,
and I wonder,
it has stopped recording.
Okay.
Because we have 501 hits. So the software identifies 500 different notes and kind of spreads them out.
If that was your chart, you have a wide range. Oh my gosh, I've got a lot of weak notes.
Well, because what you talk about affects your pitch, right? If I'm upset about something and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get the garbage taken away today and the garbage truck isn't here, I'm going to use different notes in my voice than if I'm talking about, boy, I just really love going out and pedaling on my bicycle. All right. So some of these notes that are weak here, I think the weakest one, well, we didn't have any hits at all in the note A. A sharp is pretty low. And so is F sharp, but
we can A then, right?
We could do an A, but I think we're going to do an A sharp. Okay. Because sometimes when there's nothing there, it's really just because we didn't talk about anything that would have elicited that note in your voice. And that could be the case for all of these up here, but this is definitely your weak part of the voice print. And what I can show is, this is Sharry Edwards' chart where she has all of the physical correlations, the universal physical correlations and the universal emotional correlations to these notes. So if we look at F sharp, which is pretty low, that has to do with blood filtering and screening. It's your kidneys, right? Your kidneys and your bladder has to do with water organs, F and F sharp. And then G sharp has to do about really enzymes and how your body makes enzymes. It's not on this chart here, but if we look over here at the emotional side of G sharp, someone who wants to make a difference, likes to help and satisfy others. It's a very hands-on person who's conscious of time. The A is about your eyes and electrical issues. So it could mean that but you're not even wearing glasses. So probably not an issue with your eyes. Spirituality on the emotional side takes care of the needs of others. Interprets and acts from within, yourself. So you're really, that would be a person who was really knew who they were and what they, wanted to be. or it could be that there's electrical issues in kind of cell signaling in your body. It could mean the A sharp is about your immune system. And that's kind of the one where I was going to go first, because we had one hit of the A sharp. And it has to do with adrenal issues, allergy related stuff, your body trying to get rid of allergies or toxins. So that's the A sharp. So those are Sharry's universal understandings of what each note does. So let's we can do I'm going to have you hum, and I'll give you some notes. Let's hum these three notes. Let's hum the G sharp, the A, and the A sharp. So you're going to be going, I'll give you the notes. Here's the G sharp. So you're going to hum that note, and then you're going to go up a half step to this note, to A, and then we'll go up a half step to A sharp, and back down to A, and back down to G sharp. So, okay. Yeah, so let's start on the G sharp. Just let's hum the G sharp for a bit. Now, while you're doing that, all the vibrations are staying inside of you because we're humming, and it's giving all this energy information to your brain. And now let's hum some of the note A. And keep humming that for a bit while I talk about the note A. It's about electrical issues. It's about being a person who really understands how to work with other people. And now we're going to go up and we're going to hum the A sharp. So hum that for a bit, and A sharp's all about our immune system and how the body gets rid of toxins and all kinds of good stuff like that. So now let's go down. Okay, so we've done a little bit of humming. We have to wait for a bit for that humming to kind of assimilate into your frequency matrix. If I took another voice print right now, what we would get is kind of chaos while everything is kind of assimilating. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait about 10 minutes before we go back and do that second voice print. But I want to again show you the chart that you would get when you buy this software from Sharry Edwards. It costs about $60, and you can get it at soundhealthoptions.com, and you look for the NanoVoice tab, soundhealthoptions.com, and you can download it for $60. You get the software. It's pretty easy to install. You get a whole manual on how to install it and how to use it. And along with that software, what you're going to buy is this chart, this note correlations chart that gives you Sharry's sort of universal understandings of each note of the scale. And so the A sharp here, again, immune system, adrenal issues. When it's connected with the note E, like if the note E was also really low and A sharp was low, then we know that you've got some allergies. That wasn't the case here because your note E is pretty good. You got 27 and 21 hits. So the average amount of hits is about 50. So you've got 48 there. So the E is a very good note for you. It's good solid. So so allergies aren't the issue. Could be body detox and oxygen regulation, how your body can get the oxygen out of the blood and use it and give you energy. But it's also a person And I know that you are highly intuitive, right? And I know that you can read in between the lines with others. That's why I'm thinking this isn't an emotional issue for you. This is some kind of a physical issue, because I know that you're strong in those things emotionally. So that's the chart that you're going to get. And you're going to get this fabulous manual on how to install the software. I have to say, though, as far as Macs and PCs, this software works on PCs. If you have a Mac, it will work if you're able to kind of partition a disk. As a lot of people who have Macs have like a PC partition for PC applications. So it would work on a Mac if you have a PC, partition on your Mac. So that's one caveat. You really have to know how to do that.
And you have a Mac, right?
No, I have a PC.
Oh, okay.
I have a PC because all of Sharry's software works on PC. And the 20 years ago when she was creating it, she only had time to test and do PCs. She was just a small company. So everything was built on the PC and kind of remains that way today. Well, all right. Well, so we've spent maybe about 5 minutes talking about these other things. I'm wondering if we might be ready to do another voice print. So let's try it again.
Wow.
And also this time I'm going to have you talk about, let's look at this chart. Where is that chart? Because we're going to try to really elicit these notes now from your voice, the G sharp, the A, and the A sharp. So
okay.
If you talk about either any of the physical or emotional correlations of these notes while you're about your ability to make enzymes and neurotransmitters and keep your brain, really sharp. G is also someone who really is tuned into the space that they're in and their environment. Do you have a lot of particular ideas about how you like your space to be? Talking about that will elicit some of the note G, some of the note A, talk about, how you're sort of driven to help people. There's your whole life and how you've been, putting people together and gathering information, talking about some of that will probably elicit more of these notes. So we're going to do another voice print now. Let's wait. Well, I'm going to take a picture of this first so that we can compare before and after. That's not what we want. We want new. Okay. And we're going to just kind of take a screen print of this here. There we go. Okay, so now I've got that captured. But also here, I was playing solitaire. You caught me before. Also, there is a report that explains what these notes mean. So this is just a quick little report. It talks about missing notes. It says you have no hits for the note of A. So either you didn't take enough samples, and we did, we took 500, or the subject matter did not include thoughts or topics that would involve these notes. Okay. So points of importance, attention, and consequence. This is what this voice print is coming up with. You have the ability to allow others to use your strength and support for their own needs. You have a high degree of intuition when it comes to listening to what people are not saying. Your stamina to get things accomplished is admirable. You have a lot of stamina. Your highest note is associated with the expression of justice, fairness, and truth. Joint, tendon, and connective issues come along with those, smooth muscles. So that can be a really strong point with you, or maybe some of your tendons are too tight because that note had a lot of energy in it. Okay. Your highest note is associated with seekers of internal truth. The balance between self-expression and self-worth resides with this note, and your highest note is associated with the expression of what you consider to be your physical domain, talking about the note G, and having domain over your physical environment is important to you. It says here, when in doubt, you have the courage to go to the source and ask for clarification. So you're not a gossiper. You're not someone who'll just kind of hear information from someone and pass it along. You have a little more compassion and emotional intelligence in that. So you'll go to that person and you will ask, is this what you meant? Right? Ideas come to you in very odd moments when you're distracted by a required task. Having someone help you get started helps the job get done quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a strong sense of justice, fairness, and truth. You understand that trust should be earned, but often trust without reservation. I do the same thing. You like your working environment to be efficient with things that are easily, readily available. You do what you do for the benefit of all concerned, even if it stresses you personally. You can easily be distracted from carrying out your plans by a more exciting project. You know how you want things to look, but sometimes you don't have the energy to make it so. How does that feel about you? Is that pretty accurate?
I would say that's pretty accurate. Yes.
And
Mhm.
you talked for about a minute. And all of this information comes to you now just from talking into the software for about a minute.
Yeah.
And then you can see what's easy for you and what's hard for you. All right, so that was the first one. That C sharp, that was your strongest note. And G is strong when it comes to your environment and your understanding of your space. Now we're going to talk about like G sharp, A, and A sharp issues, more about maybe your enzymes, your immune system, your I don't know, cell signaling and how your brain, transfers information. So a little talking about that stuff. We'll see along with the humming that you did if we get more of these notes here of G sharp, A, and A sharp. All right.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
we're going to say this is Loren test 2, and your date of birth was 11/05/1975, because you're just a youngster. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. So now we're ready to do another recording. We'll move this up here. And I'll get this ready. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. So even though I don't even remember the notes that I sang or toned or spoke of, I do sense that I feel a little bit more relaxed. That's really what it is. There's like, now that I know that my voice is being analyzed, it's very interesting. Yeah. And okay, so enzymes, I play tennis. And so I get thirsty and I sweat more than any other woman I've known. So that's really interesting.
We've got 511 hits. Now
Wow.
let's look at the difference between G sharp, A, and A sharp, just from that little bit of humming that you did.
Wow.
So we kind of put that. Now, how long will that stay there? You didn't hum it for very long. We don't know. Some people reset, just like that, and this will last. Maybe in a couple hours, these will be weak notes again. All right, but you at least know how to fix these things now. You just go, you just repeat this process. Take the voice print, hum the weak notes, do another voice print. Next time, if you do a voice print, if you want to check tomorrow, where's my G sharp, A, and A sharp? Start out, talking about some general stuff, things that you love, and see if these notes come back in. And then you'll know, if it's lasting. If it doesn't last, then you need to hum these notes some more.
Yes. All right. That's the importance of your pitch pipe, having a pitch pipe.
Right.
There's also apps on the phone. We've talked about that before, that you can hear, you can see what note it is that you're singing or toning. So there's the technology that supports us. And again, this is where, we've talked about singing, and I've shared my story about singing as I learned to sing. And what I realized, this is very interesting. I'm making this correlation right now. And I wonder what those notes were. But one thing that I felt with singing or talking in this second voice analysis was I felt more open and more relaxed in after humming. This is why we need to hum and sing every day. Yes,
Yeah.
to warm us up. It warms up our voice. Yes, that's the app.
This is one of the apps. It's called Piano Tuner.
Yes.
And it tells you what note you're humming, just to make sure, because some people say, well, I don't know. How do I know if I'm humming a G sharp?
Yes.
And there are other ways. Now, this just tells you what you're humming, but there's another app that's also pretty fun to use, and it's also really simple. It's called Piano Magic, and it's basically a piano keyboard.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
So you can you can play the different. Whoop, really didn't mean to do that. We get a little higher, right? You can. It tells you the name of the notes, and if you need to know that G, well, how do I hum that G? Well, you play it on the keyboard, and then you can hum it. And then if you want to know if you're really humming it, you go to the other app and sing into it. And oh, really? I'm not humming a G. I'm humming a C. So these two apps, the Piano Magic and the Piano Tuner, are
Yes.
great. They're free. You can
Yes.
download them to your phone.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking about this program, and, you know, we're talking about ways that people can use it in a sound healing practice, but this could be used with even our own families and ourselves.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, very much so. So that's the first. So this class that we're doing is going to be 3 different classes. This whole process. So the first class is getting the software and using it, taking a couple of voice prints and understand how to use it. That's the first class. The second class is something that you and I have done before on how to. I'm going to stop the share here for a minute. Okay, we'll just go back to this. So the second class is an hour-long class in a group Zoom live, where you learn how to sing your chakra notes and you find out what your body's musical scale is. And that's great for Sharry Edwards' stuff is universal for every human body. And my stuff here is notes that your body responds to, just your body, and learning what your chakra scale is. There is this chart that you'll get that tells you when you sing your root chakra, if it's the note C, that these are the notes of the rest of your chakra scale. And then because, you know, your chakras are connected to all of your, the glands of our endocrine system, right? Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. You can't see that. Okay. Let's do that again. Okay.
Yes, this is what you teach. This is your work here.
Right. This is my work. How to sound your chakras. Let's say you're having trouble sleeping at night and you know that your crown chakra note is the note G. So you get the note G, and you hum it and you're laying in bed and you're just kind of humming the note G. And what's it doing? The pineal gland is being stimulated and it's telling the brain to make more melatonin, which helps you get to sleep. So there's, this is your body specifically, emotionally, and Sharry Edwards stuff is kind of universal frequencies for everybody's body, but this is your personal emotional body scale. And you can use this as a point of reference for the emotions that would go along with a crown chakra that wasn't, you know, wasn't really firing on all cylinders. You might be depressed. You might have something called analysis paralysis. You just overthink everything. Prejudice comes with here. The ailments are, you know, insomnia and depression. So this is a great chart that you can use. And then you can say, well, let's see. Maybe the note E was your solar plexus note. And that's a good healthy note. Well, then F sharp is your heart chakra note, and that's kind of low. So specifically for you, there's not a lot of energy, maybe in your lungs. Maybe you've got some breathing problems or some allergies this time of year. And then you would know that you could hum your heart chakra note, and that's going to increase the energy in your heart chakra, in your heart, in your lungs, and everything that's in this area of your body.
So what I would do, like if I were to come back and I do the second test and I see, okay, it's opened up in the A's, the G, the A, and the A sharp, it's there. but now it's short in the F and the F sharp. So I would just hum F and F sharp.
Right. You can hum F, F, F sharp, and G. It's very common that when you're trying to fix an issue, that those issues will come back, you know, gangbusters, and some of the things that were strong before, because before, well, F and F sharp were a little bit low, but G was there. So these were kind of the biggest issues, and these were secondary. So we took care of the biggest issues, and now we're seeing the secondary issues.
Wow.
The weakness around the kidneys, the bladder, filtering your blood. That's a secondary issue. So you can kind of dig into this pretty good.
Wow, very interesting. Okay.
And then the last thing, I'm going to stop the share again, is to talk about the pitch pipe and what a fabulous tool this is for sound healing. I mean, this is usually a tool that people will just use, musicians will use if you're singing in a group and you don't have any accompaniment, you don't have any musical accompaniment, no pianos, no guitars, it's just an a cappella group, just voice, no instruments. So how do you know what note to start on? That's what a pitch pipe was made for. It was just a reference. It's a reference so that you can get what's the note that you're going to start on. We're going to start on the note B flat. And everyone will go, they all get their notes and then they start singing. So that's what it was originally used for. But I found it to be a fabulous tool for sound healing, because if when you hold this instrument and you put your fingertips on the top of it and your thumbs are touching on the bottom, as you blow into it, all of those frequencies, you can feel the vibrations in your fingertips. And in your fingertips, all the meridians of your body are in your fingertips. So that sound, that A flat sound, you can feel it going into your, so not only are you hearing it, but your meridians are feeling that energy. So it's really going into your whole body. And your body has a great way to absorb it. So that's why I love the pitch pipe. The other thing is, let's say you had a couple of notes that were out of balance, and one was a C and one was a G. So they were maybe two weak notes. So here's the C. If you want to balance two notes at the same time, you play the C and you hum the G with your voice. So here's the G. I'm going to remember that note while I turn back to the C. And now I found the hole here that says C, and I'm going to blow C and I'm going to hum G. And you can get both notes and all of the harmonics. And it's a quicker way to balance more notes at the same time.
Okay, do that again. So you hummed C, but you played G.
I played the C. I'm going to play the note C. And I'm going to hum the note G. So I'll go to the note G and first play that and get that sound in my head. And I remember it while I'm turning back to the note C. And now I've got the hole for the note C. And you can hear it, so you can balance a couple of notes at the same time. It's a powerful, powerful little tool. This is not how anyone else in the world uses it, just me. But again, you could start your own sound healing business with a pitch pipe and this software and a couple of charts.
Fascinating. All right. So
the third class, class is how to play the pitch pipe and how to do what I just did, and teach people how to do that in the class.
Yeah. All right. So everyone, get your pitch pipes. I know you're probably already doing that. The tuner app, Pano Tuner. I use Tuner T1. That's a good
Tuner
one.
T1. Yeah. And the piano app is Piano Magic.
Piano Magic.
You can actually play the keyboard.
Great. And then that Sharry Edwards software.
NanoVoice, it's called. And you can get that at soundhealthoptions.com. NanoVoice.
And join Kathleen in her course. This is to make you a better sound healer with these tools. And so Kathleen's course is limited in size so that you can ask her anything and actually get good attention. And that's going to be on Zoom. Those are recorded. Anything else you want to add about those courses?
I am going to keep it to maybe 7 or 8 people, because that way we can really answer everyone's question, in the time period. And if it goes longer than an hour, that's okay. Some classes might. So it's going to be a small class. And usually, sometimes it's people who know absolutely nothing at all, about music, in these class. And then there's someone, who's very advanced in their musical understanding. So we kind of use all the people in the class to answer questions, to see all the things that could go wrong in trying to hum your chakra scale, or in trying to use this software, and then find out how to fix them. That's the advantage of being in a class. You don't just learn the one thing that you've done right or wrong and get that reinforced, but you can see all the other things that can go right and wrong with all the other people, and that gives you some idea of how to work with all the possibilities that you might be faced with.
Yes, very good. It really is. It's teacher training. It's training for those who want to use this as a new sound healing practice. Again, for anybody who's ever been intrigued by the word sound healing or crystal bowls or any of that, this is really powerful. And so this is instruction with you. You are a beautiful coach for this. Your own research is vast and very comprehensive, and you share that with everyone. You're going to also offer advice on how people can put this in as a healing practice, right?
Yeah, I can explain in the classes basically how to go forward and work with people who come to you with, my digestion's, just really off, and I want to try sound. We can find out if you've got allergies. If you're allergic to some foods. We can find out if you're having trouble making enzymes, and so your food's not getting broken down. All of those things are in the chart, tell you what notes correlate to them. So I'll thoroughly go through the charts, or maybe Sharry Edwards will. We don't know if she's going to be teaching the class with me or not, but we'll go through what the charts mean and how to use them with all kinds of different ailments.
Perfect. Beautiful. How to use those charts and how to hum the notes to balance our body, balance our chakras, and communicate with our brain. I'm going to go hum and sing right now myself personally.
Well, the other advantage to humming, we talked about this earlier in other classes, is humming creates nitric oxide in our sinuses, right? And nitric oxide is a signaling molecule that it's used for heart health. Sometimes heart doctors will look at the amount of nitric oxide in your blood, but to see how well your heart is working. But nitric oxide also kills germs in your sinuses and your nasal passages. So this whole coronavirus thing, there's actually a study on how humming inhibits the severe coronavirus respiratory syndrome just by killing the germs in the sinuses before they get down into your lungs and your system and start to wreak havoc, because those germs are in there for a couple of days setting up shop before they can actually do damage. And if you're humming every day, you're killing the germs. They don't have a chance to manifest in the body. So that's a huge reason to get into humming.
Get into humming and singing, and we don't have to think too much about it either. We can just wow. See how simple
it is. And you don't have to know anything about music, but you have to be aware of how your voice feels in your body. You have to be willing to experiment with, I feel the sound up here. Oh, I feel that sound down there. Where does the energy go, and how can you direct the energy to different parts of your body with your voice? That's the art that you will learn as you go through this.
And Kathleen Nagy is here to be your teacher. She's a beautiful teacher. So you can sign up for this. There's a 2-payment plan. This is a business expense. This is education for not only your life, but your sound healing practice. Literally, you can create or add to your current practice. So we encourage you all to check it out. It's right here on this webpage, and you can join any of these upcoming sessions. Kathleen, thank you so much. This is beautiful. Anything that you'd like to say as we wrap up?
Well, I want to emphasize that your voice has all kinds of information that we're just learning about. And Sharry Edwards software helps take the invisible sounds of the voice and show you what notes you use when you speak, right? And then get the understanding of what that note pattern says about who you are, what's easy for you, what's hard for you. So it's about learning how to interpret the sounds of someone's voice. And as you go through this and you do it for a number of years like I have, your voice becomes very pleasant. Right? People like to listen to the sound of a balanced voice. It makes you instantly believable. People instantly intuit that you are a solid person when you've got a solid voice. So there's just so many benefits to taking this course, and you can even just want to do it with your family. Maybe you've got children or grandchildren and they love music. Well, you can teach them about the sound of their voice, and they can hum like anyone else can hum. You can do a voice print with them, and you can hum notes and teach them how to use the sound of their voice to make them feel better about themselves. It's just limitless, really, the things that you can do with this. And I'm excited to be putting these two things together. It's not woo-woo. It's not just, well, it feels good, and I'm not really sure what we did, but I liked it. We can go from that to, this is exactly what we did. This is what we found out. This is how we fixed it. And here's proof that it's been fixed.
So this is a business opportunity as well. That's what we love. It's, for under $500, you can get totally equipped in this new system. And this is readings for people, if you're into tarot or other things like that, or sound healing or whatever it is that you do, this is a way to add a service. What is your advice for those who want to offer this to their clientele?
There are so many different ways to use this. A talk therapist, a social worker could use this as an intake piece of information and get that print out and see right away, what is this person strong in and what is this person weak in? Where do we start? It's good for that. It's good for, and the price might seem a little bit high, but you can start working with people and charge them for $50 for a voice analysis, which will take you like 30 minutes. So you can do the voice analysis, you can give them the report, you can say, this is where you are now, let's work with whatever modality you're working in, and a month later, a week later, you can do another voice print and see if you've made any progress. There's lots of ways to make money with this and incorporate it into your already existing business, or start a new one with helping people see, especially musical people. Singers love this stuff.
Yes. I mean, it's intriguing as well, voice analysis. And I think many people will be called to that because they're like, yeah, that sounds cool. And it's a reasonable price. And then to do the refreshers as well, or the, let's say, checkups, voice analysis checkups.
Follow-ups.
Follow-ups.
Follow-ups, sure.
Yeah. And then that's up to each individual to get creative. So on a business note, you could say, $50 for your first one, maybe your next one is a different price, or you could even bundle a number of sessions for a reduced rate too. Again, there's lots of ways to get creative and help your clients out, because this is here and it's getting popular. It's beautiful. Yes.
So it combines the science and the intuition.
Wow. Okay. I know there's many healers and hypnotherapists with us in this audience, and this is something as well that can be used right alongside of that. You just gave me a great idea as well. And if we help people speak better, and more of a range, like we saw even with my personal reading, that was fascinating. And again, it just felt different. Now everyone's got this technology that shows us exactly what we did. Now, you mentioned the way you talk shows up. What did you say there? You said the way you talk is becomes part of your.
The sound of our voices,
Yes.
right? When a voice modulates, and makes the sound of all of these different notes, of all of the notes of the scale, it's very interesting to listen to. As opposed to, like you said, I'm a news announcer. I'm going to tell you about the weather today. Today, the weather is going to be 50 degrees and we're going to have some rain. And it's in a very narrow range of voice, very narrow range of voice. You don't use that many notes. And after a while, people just, they lose interest. It puts them to sleep. It's like monotone. But when you have a voice that is capable of multi-octave expression and the whole range of all of the notes in the scale, it makes you a very interesting person to listen to and to trust, because there's something solid about it. You're not hearing thinness. You're not hearing a lot of air. You're hearing a solid, grounded voice in many octaves.
Well, this is great technology that we can use to actually express ourselves, to be heard, and bring forward the new earth solutions and creations. And in a way, it is the voice of the heart. As we can use a voice with a large range, then we are actually speaking from the heart in every note.
And we're talking to everyone, because every note that you speak is going to be interesting to different people. Different people, if they're weak in the note E and you got a lot of the note E, they want to be near you because you've got the note that they don't have. And when they hear you talk, they get that note. So, yeah.
Now we see how we're all connected, right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, if this resonates with your heart, I think it's a no-brainer. It's something that's very cool. Doesn't cost much to get started. To get started with the tools, that's easy. But the additional training that Kathleen offers for less than $500, we've got this module in our healing practice that lets us do our job better and lets people express themselves better. That's a great offering. So thank you, Kathleen, for that program and for helping all of us light workers get equipped with these tools.
Happy to share.
Thank you, everyone. You can learn more about this program right here on this webpage. Again, there's a 2-payment plan, and we look forward to your expression in this beautiful voice analysis work and chakra balancing work with this system. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren, for all that you do.